Hello, happy Monday, everyone. It is so good to see you all. Well, hear from you, I guess, in the chat because I cannot see you. But my name is Tabitha, and as you start to roll in here, I just wanted to welcome everyone that's joining today. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day. And if you're watching this on replay, thanks for taking the time to check it out. As you start to roll in here, I want you to open up the chat box, please. And you'll notice that there is an option as a drop down where it says to, and you can choose all panelists and attendees. So make sure you choose all attendees as well as all panelists, because I would love for you guys to chat with each other, not just me. So this is a great way to communicate with other people who are using the software and doing exactly what you're doing, helping those in the world. So, hey Thalia, it's so great to see you. I would love if everyone would be able to drop in the chat where you're calling in from. And also, it's been a month since we last chatted, so let's celebrate our big wins. Drop in the chat what your big win from May was. I know it's like a weird time in the world, but we've got lots to celebrate. So it can be literally anything. Did you launch a new program? Did you rebrand? Did you grab your first client? Just anything that feels good to you and you want to celebrate with your fellow practitioners. And I'm going to start to go through them so that we can all celebrate together. So Carolina took in her first client. Congratulations, that's amazing. So Marcia is a newbie from London. Welcome, Marcia. You'll get up and running in no time. Karen is from Seattle and she created her lead magnet. Heather's gone totally online. Yes, amazing. What a good feeling. And Sharon's from South Carolina. She's got a great 7-day plant-based challenge. Sharon is from Atlanta, Georgia, and Chantel is ready to launch her website in a couple of weeks, which is amazing. Dace is from San Francisco and she's finishing up a successful 3-week cleanse with 6 clients. Amazing. Keep those going, guys. We've got lots to celebrate here. We've got pretty new clients who just joined on Saturday. So Marcia, you just came in on Saturday. So welcome. This is your first coaching call. I'm so excited to have you here. And we've got a new lead magnet, offering customized meal plans. Congratulations, Sharon. That is going to help so much. Your clients are going to be so excited. Awesome. Penny is new from Chicago. Jill recently signed up from Tahoe, California. Sarah is from Kitchener, Ontario. I'm just down the road from you, Sarah. I'm actually in London, Ontario. I don't know if I ever tell anyone that, but I'm kind of in between Toronto and Detroit, Michigan, and that's where I'm calling in from today. Awesome. Amazing. We have so many people here, guys. So thank you so much. Keep dropping those in the chat because I want everyone to celebrate with you. This has been such a strange time and it's really difficult to see kind of those silver linings, but you know, we're working so hard, especially during this time when health is such a consideration, to really improve the lives and health of our clients. So keep celebrating those wins, no matter how big or small they may be. Wonderful. So as the call goes on, team, we're going to continue to use that chat box. So today is all about smart plans, and this is a brand new feature that we are unrolling. We've already unveiled it, so if you've already started to use it, congratulations. But I'm going to go through some of the ways that I feel it's best leveraged in the platform. And if any questions come up, just drop those in the chat box and I'll go back through them. There are so many people here today, so if I miss your question, please don't take it personally. We can always get back to you at support. So if you ever feel like there's something missed and you didn't quite understand something, support@thatcleanlife.com, and that goes straight to me. Support@thatcleanlife.com. So if you just go ahead and email that, if we don't get to your question today, I'll be happy to answer it for you. But we're going to try and get through everything we can today. Oh, Sharon, thank you. Support is amazing. We love hearing that. We strive to make that an amazing, amazing support for you. So I'm so happy to hear that. All right, team, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Yeah, Chantal, thank you for noticing that. It is on my desk, which was falling off a little bit. Let's see if we can get it. I think I'm just so excited. I'm bouncing around a lot. All right, I'll try not touching my screen a little bit. Perfect. Perfect. All right, so we are landed here in the dashboard, which is just where you always land. If you're ever confused about like what's new in That Clean Life and what you should be checking out, we always have a news feed down here for anything that's brand new. So we've got a brand new family-friendly program that we just unveiled last week. and same with an intermittent fasting the week before. So you can always just take a glance at this news feed. This is also where you grab any of the coaching call replays. So if you have missed this in real time and you're looking for the replay of it, you can grab the coaching call replay here, and that goes right to our YouTube list. Perfect. Just wanted to get those housekeeping items out of the way. So today, like I mentioned, we're going to be in the planner, and we're going to be looking at Smart Plan. So who has seen this new Smart icon up here, and who has had a chance to play around with it? Oh, a couple people raising their hand. Love that. Cool. Okay, great. Awesome. I'm so happy to hear that. So it is primarily geared towards those making meal plans. So like 3, 5 day, 7 meal plans, whatever that looks like. That said, you can still leverage this in order to make recipe books. It's just not probably the fastest way. So this really will be focused on making meal plans, but I will show you at the end how you can use what you've made and create that into a recipe book as well, and not just a meal plan. So make sure you stick around, okay? We're going to go through a couple of different scenarios in terms of why Smart Plans works, how it works best, and then if any questions come up as we go through it, don't hesitate to ask. So I'm going to start by starting with a completely blank meal plan, and I'm going to name this after Amy, and she is my fake client. I don't actually have a client named Amy, but we are going to name a program after her, and we're going to call it Week 1. Perfect. So you'll notice I've started with a completely blank meal plan. So nothing going on here. And typically before Smart Plans, what we would do is we would pop back over into this recipes tab, and then we would start to find what we need by using this filter here. And you can still totally do that. We have not removed that function. So feel free to continue the way you used to, but this will speed things up by remaining completely in the planner as you meal plan. So I'm going to first set my rules. So essentially set up my Smart Plan, and I'm going to click on Smart by doing that. And my client, Amy, she is dairy-free. She is gluten-free. She's also egg-free. And then she can have all nuts except for almonds. So the nut-free filter doesn't really help me, like the nut-free tag. I'm actually going to bop down here into exclude ingredients. And before I do that, I want to just point out down here, you'll notice these 1,323 recipes. This number has consistently gone down as I've added more tags. So you can keep an eye on that as I continue to add the different ways that almonds show up. So now it's continuing to go down. And this is the amount of recipes that you're going to have to choose from as you continue to get rid of everything that works for you and your client. So I'm going to exclude all of the ways that almonds show up. Oops. Perfect. All right, so now I know that I'm working with approximately 1,100 recipes. Sorry, rounding everything up today. 1,100 recipes, and I'm going to edit plan. And now what happens is we've got this green light that turns on within our plan. And that is a great sign because it means my rules are set. So now instead of bopping over to recipes, I'm going to stay right inside of the planner, and I'm going to start planning for her by clicking into any of these blank meal plan slots. So I'm going to start with Monday at breakfast because that's just easy. And now you'll know that everything that pops up here is abiding by your rules. So that means I can search just about anything here, and it's all going to be gluten-free, dairy-free, egg-free, and not contain any almond or almond-type products. So I obviously have the ability to scroll, which is wonderful, but not when you have 1,100 recipes to choose from. So you'll want to leverage the search bar, just knowing what you're looking to have Amy eat for breakfast. And I do want to point out something super rad here that we did with Smart Plans is we unveiled the calories, so you can see the calories as well as all of the macros for each recipe so that you know that it's within your parameters of how you're planning for your client. So it's really cool that you have the opportunity to see that. So, all right, for breakfast, let's start something off with oats. Okay, cool. Yep, perfect. So this savory mushroom oats looks great. I can see the calories are 187 calories, so a little bit low. I'm probably gonna wanna pair that with a side. And then we've got the fat, carbs, and protein. Wonderful. I'm going to select that, and I will show you how you can edit this moving forward, because if that didn't work for you, say that the fat was too low and you wanted to increase the fat for whatever reason, you still have the ability to do that. You still have the ability to edit all of the recipes. We haven't taken that away. So I'm going to go ahead and add 1 serving for both Monday and Tuesday. And I'm adding 1 per day instead of leftovers, because I personally like oats made fresh each morning. And I know my client Amy has time to do that in the morning, so she can make 1 serving fresh each morning. Perfect. All right, I'm going to continue on. I'm going to start with this, and I'm thinking a smoothie would be great for midweek for Amy. Perfect. Berry avocado smoothie. Wonderful. I'm going to add that here. And Amy just needs a 5-day meal plan, because on Saturday and Sunday, her plans look very different. So she's told me she just wants a 5-day meal plan. So that's what we're going to stick with. Now, I do want to side here. Remember how we noticed that this was really low in calories? So I'm going to pop back in here. So I did that just by clicking on the photo and clicking side. And I'm thinking, so what I can do here is I can start to scroll. Or if we want to get a little bit hacky, we can actually click in here, which is the cogwheel, which is where our rules live. And we can get a little bit more specific in here by changing this to breakfast. Now, really important to note that this saves your overall plan rules. So it doesn't matter if I click in breakfast or snack or dinner or lunch, only breakfast is going to show up when I have that tag in there. So it is a little bit of a workaround, but it's something that I really like to do to narrow that search result. So I'm going to click back in, click inside, and now I've got specifically breakfast recipes that are showing up, and I've got 149 recipes to work with. So again, all of that information is displayed. So we've got all that we need to see in terms of items that we're looking for with breakfast. All right. So I'm going to pair it with this smoky coconut bacon, because I know she can sprinkle that on top of her oats, and that provides just a little bit more caloric intake as well as fat. So that's super handy. And instead of 8 servings, I'm going to bump that down to 2 and apply that to Monday and Tuesday. Perfect. So now we've got those up there. I'm going to toggle this as a leftover, because she's making the smoky coconut bacon on day 1. And then on day 2, she's going to enjoy leftovers just on top of her freshly made oats. Breakfast is done just like that. Now keep in mind, we've played with our rules a little bit. So we've got to go back up to our smart rules here. And I'm just going to remove that breakfast item. And I'm going to edit plan. And now we're back to square one. So our base rules are still set again. So now I can move on. I actually personally like to move down to dinner because lunch ends up being a lot of leftovers for dinner. So that's just something that I personally like to do. And now I have the ability to look for dinner items. So I can look for something that maybe has chicken in it. Awesome. And actually, let's say here, I know Amy likes her slow cooker. So I can actually type in slow cooker. And oh yeah, this is actually really good. This slow cooker burrito soup is really yummy. So I'm going to add that. And there are 6 servings here. I'm going to just add 3. And then I'm going to instruct Amy to freeze the other 3 so that she has leftovers for next week. And then that way we can work into that with our meal plan. Perfect. So then I'm going to mark this as a leftover. And I'm going to mark this as a leftover. And like I said, I like to lean on leftovers for lunch because I know that Amy works 9 to 5. She has no time to be fixing lunch, a fresh lunch every day. So I know that she'll want to lean on her leftovers for lunch. And I'm going to continue to repeat the process. So we can once again search for soup. We can once again search for slow cooker. I'm going to search for, I know that there's a really good roasted chicken recipe. So you can just type chicken if you're not familiar what's in here. Yes, the shredded chicken is exactly what I'm after. So it's so simple. You just bake it and then you shred it in order to make it simple to go with basically anything. So I'm going to add this shredded chicken and I'm going to add those 2 servings. So we've got Tuesday, Wednesday, add to dinner. And then I want to pair this with a side. So I'm going to do the same activity that I did up here in order to create a side. And I'm thinking broccoli. Lasts nice and long in the fridge. Yeah, perfect. Broccoli and rice. We've also got roasted broccoli. Lots of 34 recipes specifically that match that broccoli search. So I'm going to go with broccoli and rice. And those 2 servings is what I'm after. Adding that as a side. And again, we'll mark these as leftovers. So for those of you who are brand new here, the reason why marking leftovers is so important is because we've got 2 servings of shredded chicken here, and we can do that just by clicking on here to verify. So we've got 2. Now, if we were to add those same 2 servings to Wednesday, we now have 4 servings, and that means that 4 servings of chicken is being added to the grocery list, which is over shopping for your client, and they're going to have leftovers at the end of the week and not really know why they have leftovers that are uncooked because there was no instructions on how to cook them. So that's why you always want to add, the amount of servings on the first day, and then you're toggling the others as leftovers so that the grocery list is adhering to what they need to shop for. Perfect. So now we've got our shredded chicken and broccoli set up, and I'm going to add one more dinner here. And I'm thinking that we're going to add another soup. So if you're looking at this wondering, well, how do I know what I want my client to eat? How do I know what to search in here? And that really just comes back to your meal plan assessment with your client. So they're probably going to tell you, their likes, their dislikes. Maybe they really like salmon, so you can type salmon in here, and now you have the ability to search through 36 salmon recipes. Or maybe they've really told you that they only really eat chicken, and so now you can eat chicken look for chicken recipes only, not eat. You can eat it if you want. Perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add salmon. And this baked blackened salmon, again, I can check to see if this is like right in my client's wheelhouse. Perfect. The calorie, this looks a little bit better. The salmon, rice, and arugula. And my client's already buying rice based on the broccoli and rice dish that I added. So that's a great add. That way she's not buying anything extra. So I'm going to mark that down to 2 servings. Sharon just asked if there is a meal plan assessment form that we offer, and there totally is. You can view it by going to our blog and clicking on books, and it's under there. And so I'll get to that at the end, Sharon. I'll show you where to find that. Perfect. And you would just continue to repeat this process throughout. So lunch might look like a salad. So then I can just type salad in here. And we've got this tuna salad plate, 342 calories. And maybe I want to add something simple to that. So we've got 1 serving. I'm going to add 1 serving to Wednesday and another one to Friday. And again, just 1 serving each day. So she's going to make it fresh each day. And the reason why I did that is because there's avocado in it. So I always like to do that if there's avocado in a recipe, is like 1 or 2 days so that your avocado doesn't completely brown. And then let's add a little bit of a side here, maybe some other veggies like bell peppers. Yeah, perfect, like these. And we can just add 1 per day. Great, now we've got that side rounded out. And then something I really want to point out is as we continue to round out our meal plan, this is all keeping track for us up here. So we've got our calories, our fat, our carbohydrates, our protein, all of our macros, all of our micros are keeping track for what's accumulating on our client's meal plan up here. And if we click inside any one of these boxes, we get a more detailed breakdown of what that looks like. So we know we're planning right now with just over 1,000 calories. And if we click that, we can now see where those calories are coming down, where that breakout is coming from. Same with any of your macronutrients. So you can see you've got 41 grams of fat. Where is that coming from? And this is really handy if you need to go back in and tweak a recipe at all. So maybe you need to bring the cooking oil from a tablespoon down to a teaspoon. That's great ways to modify the fat if you're looking to reduce it. So keep this in your back pocket because it's going to tell you great ways that you can continue to achieve that macro breakout for your client if that's of concern for them, or even just that caloric goal. So this is called Insights, and you can access it by clicking on this box on any one of these days. Thalia, you said, is there a way I can change US ingredients to UK ingredients just once rather than having to edit each recipe? There is, and you just have to make a little change in the ingredient name. So feel free to send an email to support and I'll go over that with you because that is definitely not what we're going over today, but I know there's a way. And so I want you to feel like you can. And yes, you definitely can change from metric to US, but Thalia is stuck in cups likely right now. And there's no reliable formula to change from volume into, basically we're going from cups into a weight measurement. So there's no reliable way to do that. So when you set your US to your UK, it's not going to reflect the cups measurement. So I can always go over that with you, Thalia. Okay. All right, perfect. We're nearly there. And this is snack one. So you just have to round out our snacks. And this is so simple, guys, especially when you're, you rely on specific snacks for clients. So you can just, type in apple. And let's do something like apple slices and hummus, which is great. I am going to add 1 serving on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I'm not marking those as leftovers, so that she knows that those are fresh each day. And then same with snacks. She's already adding an apple, but maybe I'll add an apple to her afternoon snack. Maybe something with some peanut butter. That sounds great. Let's do Tuesday and Thursday and Saturday. I'm only doing a 5-day meal plan here, but I'll show you why I added that to Saturday. Now I can just drag these down here. And there we go. And now we can do, you can even do that little hack. So if you're like, well, maybe I want to know a little bit more about what's available for snacks. So you can come back in here, type your snack in. And now when you click in anywhere, these are all specifically snacks. So I'm going to add these cheesy walnuts. They're just walnuts with a bit of oil and some nutritional yeast, which is super easy peasy. And as I continue to monitor up here, maybe I'm looking for something that's a little bit more heavy in calories. So I can, cucumber and avocado salad sounds pretty great. Oh, a simple spiced avocado is exactly what I'm after. So we can add 1 serving of each of those there. And just like that, we have rounded out a 5-day meal plan for Amy. So we just did that in about 15 minutes, probably less than that because I chattered for a bit at the beginning. And of course, you can make any changes. So I did want to mention that if something didn't quite meet your requirements, like this, let's say this simple spiced avocado, for example. Actually, that's not a very good example. Let's do this salmon, rice, and arugula. So if you saw these macros and you wanted to understand more about this macro breakout, you can simply click on View Details. And now what you've got is the ability to review the nutrition information to understand what is breaking out where. So you can check out the ingredients. We've got nice and easy ingredients here. And if for whatever reason those carbohydrates are maybe too high for you, you have the ability to change this recipe just as you always did. So you can just go to copy. And we've got 2 servings here. And it's calling for a ½ cup of jasmine rice. So you actually have the ability to maybe change this to cauliflower rice. And we've got ½ cup for 2 servings, probably 1 cup. And now what we'll have to do is give them instructions to cook the rice if that's how you like it. I personally like my cauliflower rice not cooked and let it mix with the ingredients to warm it up. So this preheat oven is correct. Same with the salmon, and same with step 3 is where we need to make the adjustment. So while your salmon roasts, make your jasmine rice according to instructions on the package. So we can actually delete that. And then we've got combine the extra virgin olive oil and the lemon juice in a jar and mix well. Divide the salmon. And then cauliflower rice, and arugula between bowls or containers and drizzle with oil. Perfect. So we've got all we needed there. And wonderfully enough, all of your nutrition information is updated. So you want to make sure you change that. So you save that recipe. And then lastly, of course, I probably should have named this cauliflower rice so that we know the changes that we're making. Cauliflower. Perfect. Now that we've got that saved, we're going to go back into our planner and we're just going to delete these ones. And then now we can search specifically for the cauliflower one. Salmon. Oh, you know what happened? I still have snack on. This is why you probably shouldn't play with these, but I still do. So I'm going to remove snack because that is not considered a snack. And I'm going to click back in here and that will show up for me now. And I can actually type in cauliflower rice if you want. Also, I should probably tell you, you can add right from that recipe. So if I go back into my recipe box, which is where all of your modifications are saved, I can click in here and I can click on add and then dinner, and those open spots will open up. So that's also a very simple way to add that. So you can go back into planner and now your version of that is now saved. So you just want to mark this as leftover. Okay, I have 2 questions here that I wanted to review. Sorry, my Zoom is hidden. All right. Is there a way to search by macros in the recipes, the way you filter in the old way to do the plan? So the way to search by macros is to use the previous way. So you wouldn't be able to use macros within your smart plan. If macros are really important to you to filter by macros, you want to do the old way. So you'd over to recipes, you would go into filter, and then you would set your nutrition filters based on what your macros need to be. So that's exactly how you would filter. That hasn't changed at all. And you can definitely build a plan based on using filters like this and then also rounding it out with smart plans too. It doesn't have to be exclusive one or the other. Do you have suggestions with regards to the calories based on nutritional values for weight loss clients, but by also ensuring the plan is nutritious? Catherine, that totally falls outside of our scope of practice. So that's 100% on the practitioner who is using that Clean Life to know what their client's needs are and if they're considered weight loss or otherwise. So you would just want to check in with your client and then rely on your nutrition background and education background in order to build something that works for the client. We can't recommend things based on your client's background and history. And Karen mentioned, click on days to remove recipe or delete recipe, same either way. Yep, it's the exact same. You can remove a recipe by just doing, just by clicking the 3 dots on the lower right and removing from plan. But if you wanted to remove something all at once, you can just simply click on the photo and then uncheck each of the days, and it's a little bit faster. And then Kathleen asked, is there a way outside of the plan to store your customers' information? So Kathleen, there's no way outside of the plan to store your client's information. However, you can create a collection and name it after your client and then store their meal plans within your collection so that you have all of their meal plans in one location. So we're not going over to that today, but if you do have any questions about that, just email me. All right. And then Claudine asked, can you remove a meal? So yeah, snack 3. I didn't fill out snack 3, which is a great question. And the reason I did that is because, sorry, my Zoom is in the way. I'm trying to move my bar. Perfect. The reason why I did that is because snack 3 column or row just won't print. So I exported one here that I did earlier. It's not quite the same, but you'll notice that snack 3 just didn't print. So it's just blank. So any column, so Saturday and Sunday are completely blank, and then snack 3 is completely blank. So anything that you leave completely blank just won't print. So you can't actually delete any column or remove any row. All right, so this is exactly what this would look like as we printed it out. So they would get their plan, they would get their grocery list, and then they have all of the recipes that they need to follow. And it's beautifully branded with all of your information so that they can just click and it takes them right to your website. Okay, so that's option 1. Now, option 2 is to build from a program. And that is totally possible. And it might be a little bit easier depending on what you're looking to do with your client and what your client's needs are. So what I mean by this is I'm going to start from, okay, so my client is dairy-free, gluten-free, and egg-free, and then can't have almonds. So they're sort of paleo. They're not really, because she can have things like rice and oats, but this might be a great place to start. And you can always verify that by using the tags here. So I can see that this is dairy-free and gluten-free, so that removes any sort of pressure on me to find those recipes. And then paleo and sugar-free and grain-free, which is great. Not requirements for my client, but sort of requirements. And then I can just kind of look through this. So this apple with almond butter, obviously she couldn't have. The BLT salad bowls have egg. The banana with almond butter she couldn't have. And then obviously the kale and red pepper frittata. So if I just glance through this, I can see what it contains. I can also click on the information here and view recipe details to understand a little bit more and to see the ingredients list to see if it's something that my client can have. And then lastly, how I verify that is I typically go into view, and this is going to pop you into your planner. And now I click on list. So if I just click on list here, this is my grocery list. So I can double check to see what is popping up here and what my client can and cannot have. So everything looks good there, but we've got almond butter over here that she wouldn't be able to have, although that's a very easy swap. We could change that to sunflower seed butter or peanut butter. And then she's got eggs down here that she can't have. So I've obviously have to change out a few recipes, but it shouldn't be too difficult. So I'm going to work through modifying this program with you guys so you can see what that looks like. So if we go into view, is there a direct way to share a meal plan with the client without exporting the PDF? So you can definitely email it to your client. So when you click on export, you'll see email. However, I would say I don't personally recommend this process because spam filters are set quite high. And if your client's email address does not recognize ours, then it won't let it through. So you're definitely going to want to email from your own email server if possible. And then, is there a way to save the person's email? I think that's the same way. So you can just save that. Again, if you create a collection, you can name it after your client and you can save all that information in details. So Susan, if you want a little bit more clarity on that, you can feel free to email me and I'll get back to you. So we're going to copy this and I'm going to name this again after Amy. Just go with the same. And then I know that this is sugar-free, paleo, whatever identification site you want to make, egg-free, paleo. Perfect. Now you'll notice this green button remains on. And the reason why that's important is because all of those tags that I went over in programs like dairy-free, gluten-free, they're going to port over. And that's going to stay present within my SMART rules. So I'm going to copy the plan. Perfect. And the reason why I have to copy the plan is because if I want to make any changes to the plan, then I first need to make a copy of it. You can't make changes to a plan that a program that we've created that others are using. So I'm going to first come up here and make sure my rules are set for Amy. So I'm going to click on SMART. And we don't have egg-free in here, so it's really important to add for her. And then all of those almonds we need to add again. Oops, not correct. Almond, beautiful. So now we've got all those parameters set. Now, if you wanted to remove anything, you totally could as well. Like if I wanted to remove paleo or sugar-free or egg-free, I could do that as well. But for now, I'm just going to leave this. And now I'm going to get to work to delete the recipes that I know 100% don't work for Amy based on that assessment I went through with her. So I'm going to remove this, and this will also remove my side because the side is anchored to your main. However, you can re-add this later if you do find that you add a main and you want that side to stick around. Perfect. And obviously this has almond in the title, so I'm going to remove that. And all of these. Now, I could easily just edit this recipe to be banana with peanut butter, but I also know that we have banana with peanut butter and banana with sunflower seed butter in the platform as a recipe, so there's really no need to edit it. So I'm going to remove it, and then I can show you how you find what you're looking for. Same with this apple. We have apple with peanut butter, apple with sunflower seed butter, so that will just be a really easy switch over, but I do want to remove it just so that I can double check everything on my list. Okay, so these eggs need to be removed because the BLT bowl has eggs. Perfect. And remember, Amy was just a client who wanted a 5-day meal plan. So we can do that by actually just moving our snacks over here, which is great. And I'm going to go ahead and just delete this here because she's only having it on Saturday and Sunday. I could easily have moved that elsewhere. Like if I wanted to move it up to lunch, totally could have. Okay, so now we can go back up to our list. So I have to keep moving my zoom here. And now we can just double check to make sure we got rid of all of those ingredients that don't work for Amy. So that almond butter's gone and we have nothing in here and those eggs are gone. Okay, perfect. So, one sec, my chat went away. Hang tight, I see you guys chatting. What if we want them to have a snack for a side that is store-bought? For instance, I like to add sauerkraut or other fermented foods to my client's plan. Yes, but they probably won't be making that themselves. Definitely. You can totally do that, Julie. It's just called adding a custom ingredient. And I'm not going to go over that today, but send me an email or you can check down here at need help. And if you click on that, you can enter own ingredient or own recipe. Actually, it would be your own recipe because you're putting a whole recipe in. And it'll talk you through how to add your own recipe. If that feels too hard, just email me and I'll go through a video on how to do it with you, okay? Okay, so we have to round out breakfast. And for something like this, because I'm just rounding out the meal plan, I'm gonna go ahead and add that breakfast feature. And the reason is because I know that I'm quite limited in what I have to offer right now with it being egg-free and breakfast and also grain-free and paleo and sugar-free. And yeah, you can see here, I've got 59 recipes to choose from. So I'm going to edit that plan and I'm going to click back into breakfast. And now I know everything here is going to be specifically matched to those parameters. So I'm going to add this smoothie because I know it's nice and quick for Amy. And I've got 1 serving each day. Yeah, 1 serving and all of my information is popping up there. That's easy. And then now snack, remember we had those almond butter options. I'm going to remove breakfast because I'm already done breakfast just like that. And I'm going to go back into snacks. And now I have the ability to search anything that comes up with an apple. And remember, peanut butter isn't paleo, so that's not going to come up. But there will be a snack for apples with sunflower seed butter. So you could even do, you know, sunflower. So apple with sunflower seed butter. Can add that nice and easy. And then I have the ability to do the same thing for snack 2 if I needed to. I don't need to round that out. And then instead of getting really complicated here, I can see that Amy is enjoying the beef and burrito bowl with cauliflower rice twice. So I'm actually just going to click on this and I'm going to increase it to 3 servings. And I'm going to list it on Friday for her as well. So that way I don't have to search for something else. It doesn't have to be complicated. If you want to offer her a little bit of variety, what you can do is, you know, you can slide things around. So I could move, you know, the leftovers from here up into here, and she could have leftovers from lunch down into here. So a lot of feedback that we often get by first-time planners is, do people get annoyed that you're offering the same 3 snacks or the same 3 breakfasts or the same 2 breakfasts? And to be perfectly honest with you, clients almost need it easier. You know, we're the experts. We're the ones who are in the kitchen. We love being in the kitchen. And sometimes our clients don't match that. So you just want to meet your clients where you're at. If they love being in the kitchen, then get creative. Do different dinners, do different lunches. But I say anywhere between 2 and 4 options between your lunch and your dinner is just a really great place to start. I would much rather have a client come back to me and say, you know, it was great, but it felt repetitive. And then I can get a little bit more creative rather than it looked way too hard and I didn't even know where to begin. So I didn't even follow the meal plan. And that just like is heartbreaking, right? So you want to just meet your clients for where they're at. Bonnie had mentioned, I added RTE foods, take a photo, and the entire new recipes in the program that is super easy. I had a client that wanted to eat, a salad from Trader Joe's every day. So I took photos of the ones I chose for her, uploaded them in the nutrition information. Exactly. It turned out great. And to have these for future clients. Exactly. So that's thanks for typing that out, Bonnie. That's so helpful. This goes back to those ready-made items. Like, how can we get those ready-made items into that Clean Life? And you really want to create your own recipe on how to do with this. because then you can use it for clients moving forward. So it can be something as simple as like a kind bar or like a protein bar that you recommend all the time. And you want to create a recipe for that. So you're just adding your own recipe, but you're taking nutrition information just off the back of the panel or off of Trader Joe's website or off of their website. Use Google, it's your friend in that scenario. So, all right, and then you're ready to export. So again, you just export by clicking on export. I know we've got some newbies here, so I did want to go over that. You can choose a cover page. So, you know, whatever works for you, carrots and guacamole sounds great. And then you want to enter a brief. So this is just information that your client needs to know about this resource. And you can lean on the ones we've created for you by going to our templates and clicking on meal plan introduction. Whenever you use these templates, team, always link back to your resources. So whatever that looks like, whatever the call to action is for your client. Are they to book a call with you? Are they to go to your website? Make sure that you entered that in here so that when they get to the bottom of their resource, they know what the next steps are to work with you. And then you can click on export, and I've already done that. Yep, so it looks like this, where you've got your cover page, and then all of that information that we just added, all of those goodies, as well as, again, this is different. I exported this a little bit earlier so that you didn't have to sit here for 60 seconds and wait for my expert to go ahead. So Kathleen asked, how do you save a new snippet you created? So you can go into your export, and then you can type in here and just create snippet, and that'll give you the ability to save your snippet to use for future options. Or Kathleen, what you can do is you can click in your name up top and go to your profile and preferences, and then halfway through you've got all of your snippets here. And this, I actually like to work from within here, because you can just go into your email and then you can copy and paste common things that you're creating with your snippet. So, you know, if you have your contact information, your response rate, if you have preferred products that you want to link to, if you have affiliate products that you want to link to, if you have supplements that you want to suggest. So you can kind of bang out all your snippets there. And then when you create your brief, you just layer your snippets in one by one, which is great. Okay, I know I promised everyone that you can create a recipe book from this as well, and you can. So once you've gone through this and you've laid out, you know, the amount of food that you want for your client, but you just want to create a book from this, you don't actually want it to be a plan that they follow, you can click on export, and you want to choose a cover page just the same so that it's nicely branded. But what you'll want to do is deselect the plan. And if having a grocery list isn't important to them as well, you'll also want to deselect the list. And then you also just click export, just like that. So all this to say that if you are primarily working in with recipe books, I personally find collections to be much faster. So just adding a recipe to a collection. And if you're not familiar with collections, we've got a great coaching call that you can access just by going to those replays on your dashboard. Or feel free to write in and I can walk you through collections to support at thatcleanlife.com. But if ever you're a little bit stuck, team, we have a great help center doc just down at the bottom by clicking need help. And this need help brings you to this help center, and you can just type in collections, and it walks you through always with screenshots on how to use collections. And I would say that while Smart Plans is very, again, smart, it does a great job of predicting what you need. Collections is likely where you want to live for recipe book creation, because it is just less time consuming. You're just adding that collection. So you want to ask yourself, is a grocery list important? Is a meal plan important? If the answer is yes to either of those, then you want to live in the planner. If the answer is no, then you can live in collections. All right. And that was everything on my list. So I did want to point out how that looks when you export it. So what happens is you've got your cover page, you've got your snippet, and then you move right into the recipes. So there's no planner and there's no grocery list. This is how health coaches in many states stay compliant, so that you're not working outside of your scope of practice. And Kelly said, when I export, it only has text in the meal plan. Oh, not a small clip of the picture. So Kelly, you want to change your theme. So if anyone is noticing that their theme looks a little bit different than this, where It doesn't have your colorings, and it doesn't have a full photos of your meal plan. You just want to change your export theme. So that's done up here just by clicking on your profile, going to preferences, and we've got 3 different themes. So you're likely using classic. All right, so you want to use modern or bold, and those will introduce photos. Yeah, so Bonnie's emojis aren't the snippet's best friend. It's just the formatting option. So when you format your snippets, you want to format within the brief because that is what is allowed within that sort of like plain text. We can do like, you know, classic smiley faces, like a colon and a bracket, but not actual emoji language. And then if you design your own, Rob's asking, if you design your own recipe book with a program, can you use it as a lead magnet? You can use anything in here as a lead magnet, whether it's your own, whether it's a program. As long, the like biggest asterisk I put on that, Rob, is create it so that it is attracting your ideal client. Rather than just putting something simple up, make sure it's attracting your ideal client so that your lead magnet is attracting ideal clients and it's attracting those clients that you're looking to work with. All right, team, I am way over on time. So I'm going to sign off. I know I didn't get to a couple of questions. So support@thatcleanlife.com. I really hope that you guys feel that you've got a grasp on smart plans. Click around, play around, like click things, remove things. You're not going to break anything. So just make sure you play around with this new feature because I promise you it will save you time. We just made 2 meal plans in essentially 30 minutes because I chitter chattered in those other 15. So be sure to play around with this and I think it'll save you a ton of time. Thanks again for joining me and enjoy your June. I can't believe it's June already. We will talk to you guys soon. Have a wonderful one.